Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in and let's start off with this diagram from XRP_Crow. So a big use case that we obviously talk about is the big one around XRP, which is on-demand liquidity. Now, on-demand liquidity, if you look at it, yes, it looks great, but the use case behind on-demand liquidity also is having XRP be a bridge currency. That's a big area that kind of gets overlooked because everyone looks at it as liquidity. Obviously, yes, on-demand liquidity as a service is incredible, and it is a service that ultimately will create a ton of value for XRP as a token. But what I want to focus on today is not just on-demand liquidity, but also XRP's bridge currency standard, which we will address here in a second. But first, I want to start off with this diagram here, and it is talking about on-demand liquidity customers. This is a huge area of focus, obviously, because there is so many partners. There's so much money tied up in all of these partners as well, and there will be a domino effect from all of these major partners. Now, we do see leverages XRP, 40 payout markets around the globe, 90% lower fees than status quo, 24/7 availability, no need for pre-funded accounts, and also you have the instant payment settlement. The funny thing is that when we look at all of these major partnerships that we do have, we have put a big focus point on a lot of them in the past, like Tranglo obviously being a big one, MFS Africa, the newest one that has added to the list. We also have Travelex. I mean, a lot of these are some great names for Ripple to be, really kind of side by side with and have as a partnership as well with them, because these are ultimately names that are transacting billions of dollars per year. I mean, the African market, I think they said with Travelex, is like $780+ billion per year. That is an absolute monster of an opportunity for XRP, because think about it, right? Even the market cap of Ethereum at its all-time highs was roughly around $500 to $600 billion. The market cap of Bitcoin at near all-time highs was about roughly $1.1 trillion. So when we look at what XRP's value could be in the future, and this is just off of on-demand liquidity, it could be substantially higher. Now, also, when you tie in tokenization, you look at the bridge currency standard, then we could be talking multiples of trillions of dollars. Now, what are we talking about when we talk about bridge currencies? So, as we are watching the world kind of morph into the digitized standard, we are focused on CBDCs. And we do see from Ripple, by 2024, at least 50% of the world's population is expected to use digital wallets per transactions, valued at over $9 trillion per year. This is huge. Now, we actually have from Jack the Rippler, we do see CBDC to XRP to CBDC. This is how the bridge currency would look on paper. It's a very, very simple structure. Now, I've talked about this CBDC white paper in the past from Ripple. I want you guys to pay attention to the bottom left and the bottom right corner on these pages. At first, they do start with the talks of the rise of CBDCs. First and foremost, key findings. This is when COVID-19 really kind of accelerated digitization and the move towards digitization. 1 out of 4 of U.S. consumers use cash less often since the pandemic began. Facebook's announcement of plans to create its own digital coin prompted fears that it could undermine the traditional global financial system. They had about 2.4 billion users. Since then, they have scrapped the idea of their digital token. But we do see down here, February 2022. Yes, this is an older PDF file, but by February 2022, they did expect China to test their digital yuan payment. I do believe that right now China's actually live with their CBDC. I think that they've already done a ton of pilots and testing around it, and I do think that's actually ready for wholesale. I might be wrong on that, but we have watched a few breakdowns from China themselves talking about their CBDC. But they do mention, of course, the rise of them and interoperability being a big focus point, which we will address in this video as well. And here's the introduction to CBDC. So we do see the main benefits. Obviously, yes, there's a lot of fears with CBDCs that I have mentioned in the past as well. Here are the main benefits: enhance existing payment infrastructure, promote financial inclusion, encourage greater competition, foster innovation, and also maintain control. Then down here, we do see 80%, I think it's actually 90%, I'm pretty sure now, all of central banks are actively exploring CBDCs. This map shows a subset of these countries, and a lot has changed since this article, but this is the one that they recently posted on November 26th. Since then, like I said, a lot has changed, but we are seeing things move extremely fast within the CBDC area. And we do see the main barriers impeding CBDC success. We do see a few things. So obviously the need for control versus desire for innovations. There's also a lot of concerns around interoperability, as well as like regulatory clarity as well. But down here, we do see if CBDCs are cheaper, faster, more secure for users, we should explore it. If it's going to contribute to better monetary sovereignty, better autonomy, we should explore it. If it's going to facilitate cross-border payments, we should explore it. And this is from the ECB. This is Christine Lagarde. And down here, connecting across borders as well. This is more so centered on CBDCs with KYC, AML, as well as talking about the impact on central banks' monetary policy and liquidity management. Very interesting area to look at, especially when we are addressing XRP. Then down here, we do have the report by 2024. At least half of the world's population is expected to utilize digital wallets for transactions that will be valued at more than $9 trillion annually. And here we have bridging the gap in innovation. So this is the section that I want you all to pay attention to. So one, obviously, interoperability. We have addressed interoperability many times on this channel. If you guys have watched my other videos, you should know that API gateways are the big area focus point, especially with interoperability. It's the tech standard, in my opinion, when we are talking about interoperability within payments and finance. We already know the name that's solving this, and that is Quant with Overledger. And we do see, just as the global internet thrived by early agreement on common protocols like TCP/IP, HTTP, and FTP, so too should central banks start coordinating on CBDC standards to cover basic functions, including transaction-level operations such as escrow and hash-time locks, identity and addressing schemes, flexible routing to determine most efficient ways of transmission, and they also do talk about reducing barriers, transaction costs, and all that kind of stuff, which we've addressed as well. Now, down here is where we see the neutral bridge currencies. This is the big area. So yes, we have broken this down in the past. The reason why I bring this back up is because we have found a few things that I do want to break down in this video, but we do see neutral bridge currencies. This is where XRP comes into play. In fact, they do say one example of a neutral bridge currency would be XRP, which can be used to bridge two currencies quickly and efficiently. I just broke down last night talking about United Kingdom with XRP, why I believe XRP will be utilized within their new financial system. It's because that when we look at a bridge asset, it can support healthy alternative liquidity markets that will allow for frictionless and cost-effective value movement between various CBDCs in real time, meaning that the entire system that these CBDCs are running on and CBDCs themselves could be made far more efficient than anything else out there. This is why when we look at the value proposition behind something like XRP being a bridge currency, it could 100% change everything from the value derived of XRP and also XRP's utility. I ultimately believe that at the end of the day, CBDCs, whether we like it or not, are going to launch. Now, I believe that there will be a digital asset that will be a neutral bridge. There will 100% have to be a neutral bridge currency as well, because it would make it a lot more efficient, as well as the friction gets kind of thrown out the window there as well. It's a frictionless system that is extremely efficient. And of course, yes, you do see that settlement within that 3 to 5 second standard. Now, I want to take you guys back to the Swell event. So FCX_Focus posted this over on Twitter, and it says, the common subject Ripple Swell was CBDCs. Described its future use cases like micropayments, P2P payments without bank intermediaries, exporter payments. CBDC is digitized object, regulated by governments, not necessarily on blockchain or simply digital version of fiat. And here you guys have the hierarchy of needs: interoperability, security, trust, and speed, overlay services, access and inclusion, and then of course stability and resilience. Down here, we do see 2 out of 4. CBDCs will aim to cover M0 money supply, the total of all physical currency, including coinage. This technology will help to control supply by minting and burning issued currencies, adjusting to the needs of current economic situation. And here you guys have the life cycle requirements: onboard, mint, distribute, transact, redeem, destroy, data privacy, security, governance, auditability, reconciliation, and also identity. Then down here, we do see CBDCs need to be interoperable with crypto and legacy systems, said James Wells. Ripple, tensions between centralized and decentralized worlds. Finding a golden mean is a must. With implementation of CBDCs, innovations will come, and it will enable solutions like DeFi and Web3. And then last but not least, we do see down here, there won't be one standard for all CBDCs. It will be a culturally driven and will reflect how each government operates. CBDCs will have features like programmable money, and it will be programmed by each government. And here you guys have structural layers and intermediaries: consumers, businesses at the top, non-bank financial services, e.g. wallets. These are those digital wallets. Then we'll have commercial banks, and then central banks. And this is how everything will kind of work into it. And it's kind of interesting because we even talked about this when Ripple Swell was going on, and it was this from Ripple themselves. James Wallace, VP of Central Bank Engagements and CBDCs at Ripple, took the stage on day one of Swell Global to discuss why the technology that powers the XRP ledger is primed for central bank digital currencies and exactly who will need to strategize for a CBDC future. Now, do I believe XRP will be the global bridge currency? I believe that it has a high probability of being it, but we never know. You can never say 100% that it will be, but I will say a bridge currency is inevitable. So we will have some sort of bridge currency, whether that be XRP, whether that be another digital currency, but this mechanism is 100% needed. I will say that. When we look at the XRP ledger, I do believe that the XRP ledger is primed for CBDCs as well. I did include this video in one of my XRP videos going back to the 17th or even the 18th of November, but listen closely to this again, and I will address my overall thoughts on this.
XRP Ledger is, world-leading public blockchain which was built for payments and issuing currencies, so it's a natural fit for CBDCs. We've taken that and basically providing a private version of that for the central banks. Something that's going to be absolutely critical for the success of CBDCs and the adoption of them is the relationship between the public sector and the private sector. As I mentioned earlier, we view that the public sector, the central banks working with the government, will be the designers, the rule setters in terms of policy, and the implementers of the platform for the core capabilities around wholesale and retail CBDC, but that the use cases will come from the private sector. The list just goes on and on and on. There's literally endless potential use cases.
And one thing that I want you all to understand around CBDCs, especially when we look at the future of finance, digitization, right? The digital system, the digital financial system of tomorrow, ultimately we will see a full-on new financial system rise. I want you all to understand that the end goal around mass adoption of crypto, and I've always said this since day one on this channel, is having crypto DLT systems, so distributed ledger technology, like the XRP ledger, being at the forefront core of the financial system and having individuals utilize crypto without even realizing it. That's, to me, the end goal with mass adoption. Mass adoption, and I even just recently said this in a video as well, it's actually like, a broken record kind of being repeated here. There's just one thing that I always said on this channel, and that's the fact that mass adoption was never about me being able to send Dogecoin or even XRP to a friend of mine for a payment. Mass adoption is having this system, this future financial monetary system, being built out on DLT. And we're kind of seeing that being facilitated right now. We are seeing a lot of things moving extremely fast around digitization, specifically on CBDCs, digital wallets as well. And again, we do need a bridge currency. I think that a bridge currency is inevitable. I think that when we really kind of look at this, I think that it's going to be crucial for a very efficient as well as a healthy market around CBDCs. And it's also going to allow for that frictionless movement of funds when we are talking about CBDCs, and it's going to allow for it to be moved in real time, settled in real time, sourced by no other than XRP. And I think that this is going to be a very, very interesting time. A lot of people always ask me on this channel, why do you think that they'll let XRP succeed like that? They're not going to let XRP succeed like that. You already see the SEC going after XRP. The thing that I find very interesting around XRP as well is a lot of people say, well, do you really think that they'll let everyone get rich like that? XRP is not going to make everyone rich. I think that this is the biggest misconception around XRP. I would argue that there's a very, very small percentage of individuals out there that even hold XRP or hold enough of XRP to get insanely rich when things do start to really kind of move fast around it being a bridge currency. It's very similar to Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin did not make everyone rich. If Bitcoin made everyone rich, then guess what? 98% of the people in crypto would not be here. They would not be talking about crypto. They would not be saying, hey, Bitcoin is the one, Bitcoin is this. I see a lot of Bitcoin maxis out there constantly talking about Bitcoin. Now, again, to me, Bitcoin made a very, very small percentage of individuals extremely rich. I do think that XRP will do the same. I think that we still have a little bit of time until that fully gets realized in. To me, there's really only one goal on XRP, and that's just really kind of watching this technology mature to the point of mass adoption and to the point where we actually see the value derived from it, because we are still very well in this market's infancy. We are also in XRP's infancy, and it's definitely going to be exciting watching things morph into reality, and we already are starting to kind of see that. So it's very exciting. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys done this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.